Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. God bless you. And thank you so much for chiming in to Joy Life Center Coaching and Consulting. It's me, Andrea Jackson. I am your life coach. And today we're going to have an awesome group about spirituality, the infilling of oneself. So we're going to go ahead and start admitting some others. We had a little technical difficulty earlier. We're going to start admitting some others into the group, and we look forward to having a great group. So hold on a second. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry about earlier. A little technical difficulty. It wasn't you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're like, what I
That was,
do?
right. That was my thought.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch it.
Oh boy, no, it wasn't you. Good morning, Miss Susu. Good morning, Miss Bianca.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. God bless you guys. Good morning and welcome. Thanks for chiming in today. Excuse me. Thank you for chiming in today. We're going to get started with our group. We're going to be talking about what infills us. We're trying to break these compulsive cycles of our life, and we're trying to move into healthier behaviors, identifying triggers, and, things that curtail that negative behavior. But what are we filling our house with? What are we feeling the inside? Because we can modify our behaviors all day long, and that's wonderful. Don't get me wrong, that's wonderful. But at the same time, what's going on the inside? Because outside of that, we still have to deal with the guilt, the shame of our past. We have to deal with the shortcomings. How do we deal with it inwardly? So we're going to be talking about that a little today. But before we get into that, let's just check in and see how you doing. So I think this Susu was our first caller on today. So Miss Susu, go ahead. Good morning. Go ahead and check in, please.
Y'all owe me. Huh? You didn't pay all your rent. You still owe me $233.
Miss Bianca,
What?
we can hear you.
Oh,
I paid the rent. I paid the rent. Oh, go ahead, Miss Bianca. Go ahead and check in.
oh Lord, have mercy. Well, as y'all can see, I'm up early this morning trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure it out. That's all right.
Oh my goodness. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Don't worry about nothing. Oh, let's get that rent paid. That's a good thing. Miss Susu, good morning. Go ahead and chime in. Miss Susu, are you there? Okay. I guess we lost Miss Susu for a moment. We have someone else that just called in. Go ahead and check in, please.
Good morning. This is Sister Lupe. Hi, everyone.
Hey, good morning. Go ahead and check in with us. How you doing? How's your mental health? How you feeling? What's your day starting off like?
I'm doing well. Doing a lot better now. Um, my son's the baby's, he has a cold, so I didn't have much rest. I
Yeah.
might be getting it next.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, definitely like a mild headache, but overall, I'm back. Amen.
Hey.
Amen.
That's awesome. So good to hear you. I hate to hear the baby sick. And like you said, you may be next. But awesome. So glad to have you on the line today. Thank you, Sister Lupe. Let's see. Miss Susu, are you able to chime in? Are you able to check in this morning? Okay, okay, okay. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on into our lesson today. Today we're going to be talking about defining spirituality. What does spirituality mean to us? One thing about it is that, like I said earlier, when we're trying to break the cycles of old behaviors, old responses, old way of doing things, one thing that we find is that not only do we need to modify our behavior, yes, we must learn to identify our triggers. We must learn interventions on what to do so that we're okay while we're facing stress and distress. What do we do to stay clear of being triggered to the old behaviors, and what to do when we are triggered to the old behaviors? But one of the things also, which we're going to talk about today, is that infilling, because we can identify what to do behaviorally, but we are tripart people. We are made with the mind, we're made with our body, and we're made with the spirit. So now that we're taking our body and we're moving it into better behaviors, which is going to ultimately retrain and reset the brain, which is a part of the physical functioning, because your intelligence and your mindset, your soul is connected. Your soul and your mind is who you are without the clothing of flesh and bones. So therefore, your spirit is that freedom, that emotionality, that heart of who you are. So who are we in spirit? What is it that we're motivated or flowing our lives into? What is our intentional direction? What is it that we're flowing into? What is it that our spirit is moving us about in? What emotion? What stance? What direction? How do we cope with the inner man of feelings? How do we cope with that inner man? So that's what we're going to be talking about. And I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask you guys. And these questions are only to make you think, and so that we can define our spirituality. So we're going to get right with it. So first few questions that I have for you: defining spirituality. So I have my notes here. So what does spirituality mean to you? I'm going to ask four options, options of four. And if I need to repeat them, please let me know so that I can repeat them, because sometimes it's hard to remember what was number two and what was number three. And so the first one: spirituality is to you a person's relationship with God. Maybe that's your spirituality, a person's relationship with God. Don't answer yet. Listen to all of them. The second one: the deepest level from which a human being operates. Is spirituality that depth of your human self by which you can operate? Also, spirituality is the philosophical, context of a person's life, meaning their values, their rules, their attitudes, their views. And I'll say it again. Spirituality, maybe to someone, is the philosophical context of a person's life. The values that they live by, the morals that they were taught coming up. Maybe that's your spirituality. Also, defining spirituality, is it the same as religion for you? So you can pick as many as you want, but this is the time. Go ahead, unmute your phone and share which definition would best define your spirituality. Or if you have another one, please share. Go ahead, unmute your phone and share.
For me, I would say one, my relationship with God. And I would say number three, I believe was the philosophical.
Ooh, go girl.
Yes.
Philosophical context of a person's life.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much, Bianca. Anyone else? That's a hard one. I'll repeat them again just in case. Number one, definition, spirituality is a person's relationship with God. Number two, spirituality is the deepest level from which a human being operates. Number three, spirituality is the philosophical context of a person's life, the values that they live by, rules, attitudes, and their views. And the last one, spirituality is the same as religion. Anyone want to take a stab at that?
Can you, the Sister Lupe, can you explain number 2 and number 4?
Okay, let's see. Number two, the deepest level of which a human being operates. Sometimes when we come into our matured self, when we're not kind of trying things and learning lessons, but we come into a place of maturity, whereas you're still learning, but at the same time, you kind of get to a place of your purpose. You come into a place of you're comfortable within yourself. So you have like a feeling of spirituality, whereas it's the deepest level of you. It's like I've got to this place whereas I'm content with life, and that's my infilling, that's my spirituality, that I've come to the greatest part of myself. And number three is the values, the morals that I live by, that's my spirituality, that I'm governed by the values that I live by. So I stay in the parameter of my morals or my own perspectives and my own views, whatever they are, whether your views come from the Bible, whether it comes from a teaching of doctrine elsewhere, whether it comes from any other teaching. I live by those perspectives, and those are my views, and that's my spirituality. And I hope I did okay with trying to explain those.
Did you have a number 4? Sorry.
Yeah, number four is the same as religion. Spirituality is the same as religion.
For me, I think I'll say, um, I definitely want to obtain all of them. But I'm a work in process, so definitely number 4, Christian.
Okay.
Because I was raised as a Catholic. And also number 1, obtaining the relationship with God. So the other ones is I'm still trying to work on my consistency in those areas.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. I love that. Anyone else want to take a stab at it? All right. All right. Well, let's get to the questions. And again, these questions are to make you think. They're not like yes or no questions. They're like, I got to think, I got to process the questions. So just like we had to do in defining our spirituality, because sometimes it's not just it's a number 1 or it's a number 3, it could be all like Sister Lupe said, it could be all, that I'm defining myself by. I do have a relationship with God. I do live by the views and the perspectives of the doctrine of that word. I do live within the deepest part of myself. Whatever depth I am today, I'm trying to walk that out as a part of my spirituality. And it also could be my religion, because my religion is what keeps me structured in it. A lot of people say, I don't care for religion because religion is not the same as relationship with God. And yes, it's absolutely true. It's different. It's a man-made structure, but the structure is also to help us. Religion is more like the bylaws of church. You got to go to church every Sunday, and then you got to go to Bible study every Wednesday. You got to wear a long dress, and you got to wear, those religious things that maybe has nothing to do with the relationship with God, but it's the structure that I live in that keeps me in my relationship with God. So your spirituality may be all 4, or it may be just a few out of the 4. So that's excellent. First question: how much is enough? Now, when I say that, what do you want from life? And are you getting it? And I want us to look beyond the house, the car, the boat, the dream house. I want us to look within ourselves because we're talking about our spirituality. How much is enough? How much is enough for me where I can say, you know what? I'm finally getting where I am. I'm finally getting where I want to be in life. How much is enough? What is it that you can say, I'm finally getting it. I'm not there, but I'm getting it. And I'm getting to a place of my life where I'm in comfort, I'm in peace, in acceptance of the past. I've overcome my past hurts. I've overcome my past, what we call failures, which are really just teaching moments. I've overcome those things, and I'm finally at a place where I can say, wow, this is enough. If I get to this place, that would be good for me. Go ahead, unmute your phone and share.
For me, this Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
For me, and make yeah, just yeah. But for
Your
me,
volume is breaking up.
enough is enough. I'm just oh, it is.
Well, it's sounding
Okay.
good right now.
Oh, okay.
Picking up again.
Can you still hear
I
me?
can still hear you. We
Oh,
can hear you.
oh
It's
no.
just you're
No.
in and
Oh, what's going on? Let me
Oh,
move away
maybe it's me because now it's saying my internet is unstable.
from.
Let's go ahead. We'll figure it out. Go ahead.
For me, I've been through a whole lot, and so I've been through a lot of tragic, a lot of bad things in my life, my past, all kinds of stuff, just a whole lot of turmoil, just a whole lot of stuff. But I'm grateful for where I am today. I always say it took me a lifetime to get where I am today.
Mhm.
And I'm finally loving Bianca.
Okay.
I'm finally loving Bianca. I finally can look in the mirror and say, you know what, girl, you all right. You
Hey.
So, but it took me time to get there because of all the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, the put down, and sometimes not having the most beautiful face that you would love to have, different things like that. So, you wear all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I've come to a place in my life. I am 56 years old. I've come to a place in my life that I love me some Alice. And I love where I am today. Of course, I'm excited about whatever else is to come. But where I am right here, right now, I love where I am today. And I can say that I'm happy,
Yes.
Of
Wow.
course, life shows up. Of course, everything don't go the way that I would love for it to go. And, I don't have the big houses and the fine cars. And I ain't got a lot of money in my bank account. I'm trying to figure out how to pay my rent. Don't have a lot of money in my bank account on today.
Right.
But
Hey.
I can still say that I'm good.
Yes.
I am good. And it took me a long time to get here because certain things in life situations would cause me to go deep down into depression, would
Yes.
cause me to throw the cover over my head or whatever, But I think I'm grateful today, and I do thank my God on today for where I am today. And I can say again that I love me some Alice. And it's okay. It's okay, Alice. It's okay if everything ain't going well. It's okay because this is just today. It's just this moment. It don't mean that the next so many hours of this day is going to be the same way.
Right.
So and I had to just tell myself enough is enough of that past stuff.
Okay.
All that past stuff is just what it is. It is the past. And it's enough of that. You done beat me up too long. You done
Ooh,
caused me to feel inferior too long. You done caused me to feel ugly too long. You done caused me to be stuck in my own mind too long.
yeah,
Enough is enough. And it's time for
yeah,
me to move forward. Because guess what? It's just wasting time.
yes,
The past is gone.
yes.
It's gone. And it taught me to appreciate the present.
Hey,
It teaches me to appreciate the present.
yes,
It teaches me to love me no matter what. Love me.
yes.
Because guess what? If I don't love myself, I can't love nobody else.
That's right.
And I guess you can see I'm very passionate on this morning. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, Bianca Alice. It must be your middle name. Thank you so much for that, because that's excellent. Enough for you. If you was asked this question maybe 10 years ago, maybe you would say, you know what? Enough for me is just coming into the fullness of who I am, accepting my trauma, my pain, and my setbacks, and all that has happened to me, and being good with it. But today, like you said, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. So I'm good. Enough is enough, because I am where I am is enough, because now I can take my trauma, my pain, all of that I've been through, and not have those adverse reactions, and sadness and depression and setbacks and all this, about them, instead of them ruining my life twice when it happened and continuing to ruin it now. And I love how you said how, it kept you from embracing the present. And but now you've processed through that, and now you're living in peace. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Bianca. Anyone else? What would you say? How much is enough? What do you want from life, and are you getting it? Go ahead and unmute your phone and share. We can come back to that question. We can come back to that question. The next one is, Miss Susu, were you trying to say something?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got back on. I'm sorry. I had to get off for a moment. I just missed it, but I just heard your question. I heard the caller before, Miss
Okay.
Bianca. But
Mhm.
yeah, about what is enough? My thing is enough is I'm dipping into other people's business, wanting things to be the way that I want it to be. And like I say, I love these meetings, and this last one about self-care that's really touched me, really opened my eyes about taking care of me,
Yes.
me.
Yes.
And not so much as everybody else. When I can give out, I give. But I'm learning that I'm pulling back, and I'm beginning to take care, me, just say me, top of my head to the sole of my feet,
Yes.
me, you know, all in between. Because I do have health issues and stuff, but I put it off. I change my appointment to help somebody else. I get to
My
see
God.
them through. But
Yeah.
no, I'm backing up on that. It's gonna be me, or I can help you later, or whatever. I got to do self first.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to say. But I'm sorry I had to get off. But I'm back. Mhm.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we were calling you. I know that you're multitasking. I'll ask the question again, but I'm so glad to hear that, Miss Susu. I am so glad to hear that. And that's what we're here for. Life change. Life
Yeah.
change. Sometimes we get stuck in our unhealthy behaviors, and we don't even realize it, because these unhealthy behaviors have become a part of my life, and now my lifestyle. My lifestyle now is all comprised of all of my unhealthy behaviors. But we exist for the purpose of identifying those unhealthy behaviors and learning how to break those cycles, how to overcome those things, how to advance into the present, like how Miss Bianca said, I can enjoy my present now. I can embrace my present where those past behaviors aren't plaguing me and eating up my now, eating up my life, eating up my emotional state, eating up my time we can't get back. So I'm so glad to hear that. But I'll read the question over for you. The second question. The first question we talked about what does spirituality mean to us, but we're on the second question, which is how much is enough? What do you want from life, and are you getting it? And we're not talking about tangible things. We're not talking about houses, cars, husbands, wives. We're just talking about internally. We're talking about our spirituality. How much is enough? What do you want from life? And are you getting it? You want to take a stab at that, or you want to wait?
Well, spiritually, I'm not getting exactly what I need because I'm new. I like I say, do my devotion stuff, but sometimes my mind is here and sometimes it's there. But I want that time with God, blank everything else out, and I'm learning that to push everything else to the side, besides him, give me that time with him and I can fully, hear him.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you be praying and your mind just wander off somewhere, but I want that time come back up, Larry. I'm sorry, and I start again. But
Right.
as I say, I'm closing that door, of others and things, It's me now. It's my time, And
Yes.
I just want that close connection with the Lord, where
Yeah.
I can see and speak with him, And like I see your sign, change your head.
Change your
It is
head.
change your head,
Yes.
because like you say, I've been in this situation for so long, it's the norm thing.
Yeah.
I sit back sometimes my whole day waiting. Somebody gonna call or somebody needs, and that time is gone. I've lost that. But
Right.
like I say, I'm breaking that, gradually breaking that. It's gonna be about me and God, and the others when they can fit in.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Miss
Yeah.
Lou. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to go to our next question unless someone want to take a stab at that. If you want to answer the question, how much is enough? How much where you finally feel okay, you feel satisfied, you feel like I'm getting it. I'm moving in that healthy direction. How much is enough? Anyone else would like to answer that before we go to the next question? Okay. Our next question. Upon what is my security based? And that means, what would it take to destroy you? I always use Superman. When I think about this question, I use Superman. What is his security based on? His security is based on his ability to go into that telephone booth and change into Superman. So when we find out where our security is, we have to identify what can destroy our security. What can destroy it? Once if we've identified what is my security based on, then what can destroy it? With Superman was able to leap from tall buildings. He was able to catch villains and bring them, turn them over into jail, and he was able to do some great exploits. But whenever somebody had kryptonite, or if kryptonite was somewhere nearby, it would destroy him. He'd get out of it eventually because it's his show. But at the same time, have we identified what would destroy us? When we look at these compulsive behaviors, is that one of the things that can destroy us? Have we identified some other things that can destroy us? So, what is your security based on? And what is it that can destroy it? Go ahead, unmute your phone and share. These questions are designed to make you think. So don't count it strange that no one's just jumping and say, hey, I understand. You have to think about it. And that's why these questions exist, to process and examine your spirituality. What is my security based on? My security is based on my obedience to the word of God. My security is based on the strength and the connectivity of that I have found that works for me. And whenever I begin to lean to carnal self, that can destroy me. That's an example. Or my security is based on staying in the present, because when I remove myself from the present, I go back into old behaviors and I start reminiscing on old thoughts and things that come to destroy me. That can be an example. My security is based on me staying drug free, me maintaining my recovery. Because if I don't maintain my recovery and I use, everything in my life is going to be destroyed. So that's another one. Staying to the process of my recovery. Anyone want to unmute their phone and share?
I was gonna say to Susu, staying with the word of God, as much as I can, because that's my trust. I'm learning to find out that's the only hope that I have is in him. Other things gonna show up and stuff. Like I say, I was using an example of homelessness. If it be, I wouldn't want to, but if it be, so be it. I have nowhere else, nothing else to turn to. I trust in my children, and well, I got a friend, but that can only go so far. But ultimately, it's in God. So that's my trust. And I don't know what might destroy me down, because I thought about losing my children, but I've lost one, but it hasn't taken me out. Not saying it don't hurt or anything like that.
Right.
But that's one of the worst situations, I could think of. And like I said, I've got some gone to jail and everything, but it's not taking me out. So I don't know what, it could be, like I say, with homelessness. Yeah, that might shake me, but my trust is in God, though, whichever way it comes, I'm going to have to deal with it. And that's where my trust is. I don't know what else might take me out, but I'm holding on. Sure. It was about thread. God bless you.
God bless you. God bless you, Miss Susu. And I think you answered your own question. That was beautifully said. Like you said, my trust and my hope in God is my security. That's what I trust in. So what would destroy me? Like you said, you survived losing a child. You survived some other things in your life. But one thing that you know that you won't survive is if you were to lose your security in Christ Jesus. Like you said, that's your trust, that's your hope. So even if homelessness came about, you would still have your trust and your hope there with you. So you answered your question. What would destroy me if I was to lose my trust and my hope and my security in Christ? So I think that would be it, because situations you've gone through and you've survived them, but they weren't able to destroy you. They hurt, but they weren't able to destroy you because you had your security in Christ Jesus. So thank you so much for that. I see Miss Jenny is joining us. Good morning, Miss Jenny.
Good morning, Miss Jackson.
Good morning. Good morning.
And everyone.
I see also before you, Miss Lorena is joining us. Good morning, Miss Lorena.
All right. Good morning. I'm sorry, my phone is not acting correct. But
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just glad you're here. Oh, wow. Well, Miss Jenny, I know you're just chiming in, but we're defining our spirituality. We're defining our spirituality. We talked about we're diligent in modifying our behaviors, finding out, what we need to do, what we need to avoid, what things we need to avoid, what situations are happening in our life that maybe we have to use interventions to deal with differently. But even with all that great learning, what's on the inside? What's on the inside that's strengthening us from the inside? Where is your spirituality based? And we've defined some of those things, and we're asking some questions, and these questions are designed to make you think. The first question, or rather the second question, was how much is enough? Meaning, what do you want from life and are you getting it? And again, we're not talking about houses, cars, another child. We're talking about those things internally, spiritually, emotionally, those things. But right now our question is, upon what is my security base? What would it take to destroy you? If you want to take a stab at that, you're welcome to, or if you just kind of want to chill for a minute and wait to kind of get a better understanding of what we're talking about, either way is available to you. So anyone want to take a stab at that one? Upon what is my security base? What would it take to destroy me?
This is Jenny.
Okay,
I'll take a stab at that.
go ahead.
And you're speaking of with spirituality as well, right?
Correct.
Um, what would destroy me? I know if I lose my faith.
Okay.
Um, God is very, very important to me because I see the faithfulness of God. It's so important to me that I know if I lose God, I can lose not just material things, but my life, period.
Okay.
Coming from being so, having sobriety and cleanness, I see the hand of God on my life and my family's life.
Yeah.
And I know that as far as relapsing too, I know that I would die out there if I was to um, turn my back on God. And so it's so important to me because I know that God is real. And a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people have other things that they believe in. I know God is real, and I've seen the hand of God, and I've seen what God has done and what he is doing and what he has done even in the past. And for you know my being destroyed, um my my the excuse me.
No
the
problem.
thing the thing is that I want the will of God to stay in my life, to follow the will of God. That's so important to me. God is so first for me besides anything else. I follow that commandment when he said, love me first, seek his face first, and sometimes we can, you know, put it on the back, put him on the back burner sometimes.
Okay.
And I don't want to find myself, I asked God to forgive me on last night for that. Because thinking of other things, but knowing that if I put him first, that, you know, he'll work it out. He'll work everything out. Everything. That's my faith in him. And that basically, like, putting God first, the will of God to be in my life first. That's so important. That's so important. Thank you for now.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that. If my faith is destroyed, that would destroy me. So that's very important. We have to identify where is my security based on, because strong winds of life are going to flow. They're going to blow, rather. The waves are going to hit, they're going to flow. But what happens is, through the hard times, through the troubled time, through the distress, where is my security base? What is it? It's important for us to identify what can destroy me. So once I find out what can destroy me, like I use Superman, for example, if the kryptonite can destroy me, then I need to do everything within my power and my means to what? Stay away from kryptonite. If losing my faith will destroy me, then I need to do everything within my power and my means to stay connected to my faith. If my trust in God is what I would lose and to destroy me, then I need to continue to strengthen my trust in God. So that's excellent, guys. Thank you so much. Another question, or anyone else want to answer that question before we move on? Okay. Who do I have to be before I approve of myself? What qualities are most important to you? What is it that I have to overcome? What is it that I have to be? What position within myself am I feeling that I need to achieve in order to say, okay, all right, girl, you did that. All right, boy, high five yourself. I like how Lorena say, sometimes I got to hold my own hand. Sometimes I got to encourage myself like David. So what is it? What quality would you like to see within yourself before you give yourself that high five? Go ahead and unmute your phone and share.
Well, I think I kind of earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I have a high five of myself because today I love myself.
Yes.
So that's one of the qualities. That's one of the things that I lacked for so long.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so now to be able to love myself,
Yes.
to be able to know my self-worth,
Yes.
to know that I am who God say I am, to be able to know all these things, I high five myself on today.
Hey.
on today. Because again, like I said, I've come a long way. I still have a long way to go too, but where I am right now, just where I am right here, right now, I appreciate it
Yes.
because I know where I was, and that was about a pretty place.
Yes.
But I can see the sunshine.
All right.
I can see the sunshine. So I high five myself. And like you said, sometimes I have to encourage myself.
Yes.
Sometimes we wait and we want people to encourage us and people to see the good in us. And that's good. It helps along the way. But sometimes they may not see it.
Right.
And sometimes they may see it and might not say anything. Sometimes they may see it and just want to see you continue on in it. So I've learned how, believe you me, to encourage myself in the Lord.
Hey. Wow, that's awesome. I like that you learn to block out some of the other sounds in life and in this world that keeps you bound and get to a place where you're good with yourself, where you've overcome, and I loved how you said, where you overcome your past pain, where now I can high five myself and say, wow, Bianca, I love you. I love you and I'm okay with me now. I'm not suffering from my past trauma. And I like how Miss Susu said, it's not that it doesn't hurt, it does not that it's not hurt, but that pain is not dominating in my life. Now I want to say healing takes time. Emotional healing takes time. So when the question is asked, who do I need to become to approve of myself? You know what? I'd like to be a healed individual that can take my pain and secure it where it's no longer guiding me, but I'm guiding it. So getting to that place is a great achievement for any of us. Thank you so much for that. Anyone
It
else?
is work. It's
I'm
hard
sorry,
work.
go ahead.
It's hard work
It is.
to get to that place
Yes.
because you're so used to what you used to.
Yes.
You're so used to hearing what you used to hearing and being who you used to be. So it really is a hard work in progress to
Yes.
get to that place.
And
But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
if you continue, yeah, you're gonna get knocked down. Yeah, you may not feel like all all is good on today or whatever the situation may be. You
Mhm.
know, like I said, there was days that I walked past the mirror. I
Okay.
didn't even want to look in the mirror.
Yes.
You know, just wash my hands, brush my teeth, whatever. Never look up or
Really
you
great. Let me tell you what happened this morning.
never, never look in the mirror because I didn't like what was looking back at me.
Yes.
And that could be not only physically, but it could be mentally, inwardly also. You know, those things that was on the inside of me that was ugly.
Yes.
That was ugly. But they was my ugly.
They were mine.
And
Yes.
it got me to where I am today. And
Yes.
so I held on to some of my ugliness. You know, but there come a time in my life that I had to let those ugliness out.
Yes.
Because guess what? It was only hindering me for being beautified.
Come on now.
So let me go. All right.
No, don't run, don't run. I tell you, because this is the dynamic of group. It's not us, it's not one individual, it's the whole group. It's people helping people. So please don't feel that that you're sharing too much unless you're crossing your own boundary. But I think that that's very helpful in the things that you shared. Thank you so much, Bianca. Anyone else? I'll repeat the question. What do I have to be before I approve of myself? When I'm okay with me finally, what do I have to do? What qualities are most important to me? The qualities that are most important to me that I have achieved or that I'm pressing to achieve. Where is it that I'm okay and I can give myself a high five and say, you did that. You did that. Where I can look at myself with a smile from and see my achievement. Anyone? All right, well, we'll go to the next question, our second to the last question. Was anyone trying to unmute your phone and give an answer to the previous question?
Yeah, that was me, Lupe.
Go ahead, baby.
For me, going through what I'm going through has taken a toll on loving myself inside and out, because experiencing feelings of rejection by others, it could affect your self-esteem.
Yes.
And so I, like Pastor Alice was saying, right, like having a hard time looking in the mirror, and loving myself. I'm trying to get there. I know I don't hate myself, but one thing I could say that I really pat myself in the back for is that through it all, everything that I've been going through the past couple of years and months, I could say I have not turned into drugs and alcohol to escape those feelings. I'm actually processing them. Yes, they take a little longer. Yes, it's a little harder and it's painful at times, but before so I would escape reality, I would turn to drugs. So I mean, does it make it any better that I turn to sugars and to junk food and food and that's something I need to work on? I think having I believe that sometimes being used to escaping and doing drugs, it makes like an addictive personality where what else can I do to fulfill this void? So I'm trying to let God fill that void. But I'm having trouble putting the soda down, putting the candy down. But I could say this, when I fast, sometimes I have trouble because you fast, you get attacked, of course. And I remember when those attacks will come, I will turn to drugs and alcohol. So now I will, if I'm on a fast or if I'm on a diet or whatever it is, I'll turn to food. And I used to be very hard on myself until God reminded me it's just food. You're not doing drugs. You're not doing alcohol. Give yourself some credit. but it doesn't make it okay to turn to those things. But it's just a reminder that I'm not getting high today.
Right. Right. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's awesome. I love that. You're absolutely right. Some of these routines, these compulsive, unhealthy behaviors, they do cross tolerance, they do cross addictions. Like she said, I'm not doing drugs anymore, but I'm eating all the wrong foods. But I still need to pat myself on the back because I'm not doing drugs. I'm in pursuit of dealing with that addictive behavior. I'm still in pursuit. So if nothing else, I've at least practiced some harm reduction where I'm not satisfying that void with drugs anymore, but I'm now practicing some harm reduction. Now I'm using food while I'm in pursuit of destroying the addictive behaviors. So absolutely give yourself a pat on the back, because many times that addictive part of us is still in play. Remember, it's in our brain. It's been grafted into our brain. It's that cycle. That's on the cellular level, we can't see how that brain is affecting our actions. So she's overcome the strength of the addiction of her brain with drugs and alcohol while she's still in pursuit to overcome the addiction overall, to break the power of the addiction. So that's lovely. And I like how she said, still dealing with the escape. That's been the practice for years. I'm not escaping on drugs and alcohol. I may be escaping on sugars and caffeine, but how do I break looking for the escape? So we're used to rescuing ourselves with something in an immediate gratifier. You know, we're used to rescuing ourselves with that quick fix. But I like how Sister Lupe said, but today she's trying to go through it. She's trying to go through it. That's how we reset the brain, because I'm going to go through this and I'm not going to pick up my old behaviors or my old compulsions. I don't care how much the obsession is. I'm going to use my tools to now deal with modifying the behaviors that trigger me to the old things, like the emotional stuff. What am I going to do about my emotional stuff? Because how can I stop my emotional stuff from triggering my behaviors? Well, that means I got to deal with my emotions. So therefore, I'm going to break the cycle by dealing with that encourages the cycle. So that's awesome. And not look for the escape, the immediate gratification. I'm not going to look for the rescuer, the unhealthy rescuer. I'm not going to look for that, and put some techniques, some behaviors, and some methods in place so that I don't behaviorally go back to those things. So I love that. Thank you, Sister Lupe. Anyone else want to answer the last question before we move into the next? And that question again was, who do I have to be before I approve of myself? What qualities are most important to you? Who do I have to be? Not in title, but in title of myself. Who do I have to be? You think about it. We'll go to the next one. Our next question. What does success mean to me? Now, remember, we're not talking about natural carnal things. And carnal's not bad. It's just because I know sometimes the church make the word carnal look really bad, but there are some things that in the sense that is used in the context that is used in, carnality versus spiritual. I choose spiritual rather than carnal. I want to build my spirit. I want to build those that part of me that brings the fruit of the spirit to my spirit. But carnal are just some of my worldly natural means. So we're not talking about those natural means. We know that everyone needs shelter, a home, they would like a car. We like our kids to graduate. You know, these are all things that we work towards. Not saying those things aren't important, because they very much are. So, but I want to ask, what does making it mean to you? When you can feel inside, I'm making it. I'm making it. When you're internally and emotionally in a place where you're excited, you can see your success. You can see it, whether you're in pursuit of it. What is it that you need to see that you can say, wow, I'm making it. I'm doing this, that I'm overcoming these compulsive behaviors? What is it that you need to see in order to be a sign of your recovery, a successful sign of your recovery? Go ahead, unmute your phone and share.
For
I'm
me,
gonna say, go on, go on, go on, Miss Bianca.
uh, for me, it would be this. And y'all gonna probably hear me say this for a while. Get up, dress up, show up, and never give up.
Yes.
So that would be my sign, that when I get up out of whatever I find myself in,
Yes.
I dress up. I put on the things that I need to put on, naturally as well as spiritually, because I can't go out half cocked.
That's right.
So I get up, I dress up, I put on the things I need naturally as well as spiritual, and I show up.
Yes.
I don't let the situation have me so bound that I can't show up.
Ooh.
Or it keeps me down in that place. This is me. It keeps me down in that place. I got to get up. I got to dress up. I got to show up. And my thing is never, ever, ever give up.
Yes.
Never give up. And those, well, you guys might not know me, but I am a fighter. I am a fighter. And so I try to continue on, even in the midst of whatever it is that I go through. I try to continue on. So that would be the thing for me. Get up, dress up, show up, and never give up.
Give up. Awesome. I've heard you say that in the past, and that was so, I've heard you say it once in the past, and that was so amazing to me. And I know, like you said, that God gave that to you. That was so amazing to me, and I have to write that down. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Miss Susu, you was trying to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, I was gonna say my success would be make me feel good and to walk in the truth and to be an example to people, not to be lemon faced all the time, but to look joyous and to share with people to make them joyous, draw them closer to God. That would be my success if I can just reach out and help somebody, in truth and integrity, walk in character and integrity, that would be my joy. That'll be me. Yeah.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
hear the joy coming from your voice. That's awesome, Miss Susu. That's awesome. Because we have to see these little signs of success in ourselves to know we are making it. I'm not still stuck in my past, even though I still feel it, even though it's present. There's no magic trick to make it go away. There's no magic trick. I like how Sister Lupe said, I have to pat myself on the back because I'm not doing what I used to do in response to that anymore. Whether I'm doing something else, that's wonderful. My husband say, you know what, that's the same problem. Can I have a different problem? I don't want to deal with the same problem. So at some point, we have to deal with those problems differently. And a successful sign of that, a successful sign of recovery is that, hey, I'm not doing that old behavior anymore. So I love that. Miss Susu was saying that a successful sign for her is when she can see her life progressing to a place that she's helping others, not enabling others, but helping others, having the joy of Christ Jesus, not the smile, but hurt on the inside. That's not true recovery. That's, taking the steps, or is hiding the step. Either one, only we know on the inside. Am I hiding what I'm truly feeling and I'm just trying to appear to the world? They call it faking it until you make it. Or am I actually taking some steps of this recovery process, and I can see that I'm making it because I can feel my joy coming, and I'm actually helping others. I'm not stealing their process from them and taking care of their situations, but I'm actually being a help, a servant of Christ. So I love that. Thank you so much. And Miss Bianca, like I said, that saying, I got to write that down. I'm going to have it laminated so that I can remember through everything, all my traumas, as I'm trying to continue in my recovery, that I'm going to rise up, because I got to get up, and then I'm going to suit up, and I'm going to show up, and I'm never going to give up. I love that. Wow, did I say it right? I got to write it down. Anyway, anyone else?
I just wanted to say, as others is waiting to come off of mute, I just wanted to say there was a situation that had been going through for probably over a month or so, and that thing really had my goat. It really had me. It was a situation, didn't really have nothing to do with me per se,
Okay.
but it was a situation that I was connected to. And so that situation, it really bothered me, it burdened me, tears, whatever. But even with that going on, and I felt what I felt, because it was a feeling. I felt what I felt, but happened to realize that, I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go. And being able to let it go eventually, let it go eventually, and then being able to continue on also, because in the process, there is progress. So as I was going through my process, I was still making some progress.
Yes.
And so now, today, I got joy on today with the situation. I could deal with it. Let me just say that. I could deal with it better than I could probably about a month or so ago. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that. So, and with that being said, I got up still, I dressed up, I showed up, and I didn't give up.
Awesome.
Thank
you. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Anyone want to answer that question before we move into our last question today? Okay. What would be the most comfortable and easy way for me to increase the spiritual aspect of my own life, should I choose to do so? So what's going to help me increase my spirituality? We've talked about identifying where my security lies and what it takes to destroy it. So we know that we have to build our spirit to now oppose, even repel, or even destroy the thing that can come and destroy us. We found what signs of recovery looks like. Signs of, I'm making it, I'm doing this thing, I'm becoming healthier, I'm becoming emotionally stable, or, so we see the signs. So what is it that I can do to nurture my spiritual self and strengthen my spiritual self? What can you do to increase healthiness of spirit? Go ahead, unmute your phone and share.
Hi, Sister Lupe here.
Hey.
I realized that I can't do it all. I realized that I have to take care of me. Yes. And take the responsibility that I can now. And I noticed a pattern that sometimes I'm a people pleaser.
Okay.
I love to I'm like a Martha. I'm all over trying to help here, help that.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I crash. and it takes a spiritual effect, emotional, physical, all of the above. So I realized that it's okay to say no sometimes. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to step down of some things to
Yes.
take care of
Take care
my
of yourself.
spiritual, because I don't want to grow resentful or bitter, overloaded, tired. So I know that for me to take care of me, because I do that at work too. It could be anywhere. It could be at home when I had doing so much around the house, and then I get an attitude because nothing's perfect, And I'm like, okay, no, I'm gonna stop here. Pay attention to my body. My back is hurting.
Yeah.
If I'm sounding like I'm starting to snap on the kids,
Mhm.
sit down. It's okay if the laundry's not folded. It's okay if the
Yes.
dishes are not washed.
Yes.
Sit down, take a minute, and chillax. And that's same goes with a job. I get positioned sometimes into management because they see my leadership, but then again, that takes a lot of time out of me. So it's okay if I know how to do it. Doesn't mean I have to do it all the time. And the same goes for all the other aspects, even in ministry. Like, I can't do everything. I need to sit down somewhere and start being a Mary and receive.
Yes. Oh my God, that's awesome. That is an awesome acknowledgement, because sometimes our brain tells us we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, and our to-do list is we're failing, we're not got to do this. But I love how you say it's okay to tell myself, reprogram my brain, because all this overloading and overwhelming myself is causing me to crash and burn, become bitter and resentful, possibly at the end of the day, at the end of life. That's how people grow old and bitter, So one of the things I like how she said, take some time for me. I love that. It's okay to take a nap. It's okay the dishes not washed. It's okay. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I am not perfect, and it's okay not to be perfect. I love that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Take time. Take the time that you need. Life is going to keep going. I love that. Anyone else? That's wonderful. Anyone else?
God bless you, Sister Lorena.
Hey, Sister Lorena.
For me, it's just being aware.
Okay.
I have to be aware of my limitations. I have to be aware of my boundaries. I
Yes.
have to be aware of just my feelings in general. And sometimes I don't feel equipped to do some things, and I push myself. And then I'm frustrated and angry and whatnot. But just reminding myself that I'm a work in progress. I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for progression.
Hey, I love that. Wow. I had a few things to write down today before I forget them. I love that. I'm not striving for perfection to become perfect in my natural being, but I'm striving for progress. I love that. Thank you so much, Lorena. So understanding this self-talk, this compassionate self-talk is showing up in our processes and in our progresses. If we're going to get to the progress of our life, we have to integrate something different, because we can still go through process. And if we don't adhere to a system for process, I hear some of you talk about your process, your walk in the Lord. So that means the principle that you have submitted to is the doctrine of the Lord Jesus Christ, your Christianity, your relationship with God. So therefore, sometimes even in that, we don't see the progress, but as long as we're in it, because sometimes heart change, mind mind renewal, it takes time. It takes more for some than it does others. One thing I always say, for some it may take a teaspoon of trouble to happen. to bring us into change. For some, it takes maybe a cup of trouble, but for some, it takes a whole ocean of trouble to happen before we move into change. And all that means is we all have different dispositions. We have a different disposition, and therefore it may take a little more. Just like when you see with your children, you can look at one child and say, and they quick to get it together. You look at that other child and say, and they like, what? Or they still doing it when they looking at you smiling, so we all have different dispositions. So it takes something different, but it's most definitely important that we stay aware of our boundaries. I love that. Our limitations. I love that. And stay focused and move forward so that our process does lead us to progress. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Lorena. Anyone else? What is it that's going to build your spirituality?
This is Jenny. I just wanted to say that I'm so encouraged about all the words that I've been hearing.
Awesome.
And I thank God for the thinking. Make you think a lot of all the questions in the session. I just wanted to say that it's been, I guess, a couple of weeks now that I had a small stroke, and I was feeling pretty low. I was pretty, I felt like giving up. Like, I can't believe this happened to me. I can't use this. I can't, my hand, my leg, and I'm all feeling handicapped, disabled. And I'm like, I was feeling down. And what, builds me up is, even though with people that would encourage me, it's just something about when I speak to my pastor that's been with me, ever since I've met her. When I speak to my apostle, that, I get this kick from God, like, okay. And so when I receive what I get, okay, you gonna sit there and soak in it, or you gonna get up and rise? So as I risen, as I have risen, and I told myself, look, okay, this happened to you, that happened to you. All right, it happened. Okay, work with what you got.
Ooh.
And then I tell myself, work it, girl.
Work it, girl.
Okay, you used that spoon. You held that spoon today, right? Better. Work with what you got, and eventually it'll get better.
Yes.
It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
Yes.
But work with what you got. Work with what you got.
Yes.
And I believe that sometimes I do too much, especially for my family.
Okay.
I'm cleaning, I'm cooking. Nobody know how to cook in here. Let me say that. So, don't nobody know how to cook. I can't eat all y'all microwavable and, ordering food stuff,
Okay.
doing everything from the laundry to the grocery shopping. Okay. Now it's like, okay, y'all gotta help now. And my limitation is that I'm just getting older.
Yes.
I'm getting older, and now I'm trying to become more healthy because I've been neglecting myself, period.
Ooh.
But the thing is, neglecting myself as far as eating, everything, appearances. My appearance, when I'm at home, I'm all right, as long as I'm kind of clean. You hear me? Kind of. But, um, I believe that God slowed me down, literally. I was doing too much. Doing too much. So, spiritually, I'm trying to receive more of what God is trying to say to me more. I'm trying to, I'm working on that. Reading of my word. And when you receive the word of God, there's no more better strength than that, and physically, I'm trying to that I stay that way. You know, once I get better, that I'm not going to be overwhelming my body and my spirit. You know, so I I and it encourages me when someone else encourages me. But it's something about my pastor, the words, because even in my dreams, when Jesus appears to me, my pastor's face is there as a representative, because we don't know what Jesus looked like. I don't know what he looked like. You know, I wasn't there over 2,000 years ago. So, you know, but once I'm encouraged and I get a strength, I get this strength. Like, don't soak in it. It happened. Work with what you got.
Work with what.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Work with what you got. And guys, you guys are all so awesome. You guys are all, one of the things that you guys have identified, not through a class and not through some seminar, but one thing that you've learned through life is, for one, be aware. Be aware of your boundaries, your limitations, your strengths, your weaknesses. Like Sister Lorena said, Sister Lupe said, also in being aware, identify when you need to step back and just receive. It's okay that the dishes are there. It's okay that the laundry is stacking. We'll get to it. I need to take care of me. And just like Miss Jenny is saying, she found that in this mild stroke, and thank God it was a mild one, in this she finds that I need to change some things that I'm doing, because we've heard or know of people that have stroked out. We know of people that have stroked and they're now in nursing skill centers, or maybe even the convalescent home, because they have no activity of their limbs. They're brain dead in certain areas. But here it is, you've been given life. You still have life, and that in abundance. So therefore, I like how you say, I'm gonna use what I got. I'm gonna use the strength, the knowledge, what I got, and I'm gonna join this process to get this progress that I need. And I'm back. And when I do get back, I'm not gonna go back to old behaviors. You're going to take some self-care. You're going to take care of yourself. I love that. I love that. Anyone else for this last question before we go? And I'll read it again. What would be the most comfortable and easy way for me to increase the spiritual aspect of my own life, should I choose to do so? What's going to build me spiritually? What do I need to do to build spiritually? Anyone? Well, all right, guys. All right. Well, thank you so very much. You made this group today what it is. I'm so encouraged. I love you guys. I salute you guys, because guess what? If we don't take care of ourselves, I want you to know that it's not that you can't take care of anyone else. If we're not taking care of ourselves, guys, there is no way, no how that we're able to live productive lives. We can't see the recovery. Not even talking about other people. Yes, we ought to take care of our families. Yes, we must do that, but we must find out how to take care of our families. That's best for us. When we're at work, we still, yes, we got to work hard. We got to do what we're hired to do, but we have to identify how to do those things that's best suitable for us. Even in our ministries, when we're working ministry, we have to identify how to work it that's best suited for us. So you guys are so awesome. Our spirituality sounds like that is our strength. That is our inward strength. That is our emotional healer. That is what gets us through life circumstances, helps us to recover and to abound. So therefore, let's continue adding. Let's continue adding to our spiritual self. Let's continue building. How can I increase my spiritual self? been taking some time. I heard Miss Susu say, just taking that time, having that interaction with God, and not allowing other people's needs to move me from that place. So maybe something that we could do is scheduling. Let's get some scheduling in our life. If you don't keep a to-do list, if you don't keep a planner, I would encourage you to schedule. Maybe at the end of the day, journal. That builds me spiritually. I can journal, identify a gratitudes list. What am I grateful for? Even in the worst day, God, I want to list my gratitude of things that you've done for me. I want to increase my spirituality by showing how I could have been destroyed, but I'm not. And so I'm grateful. I had a hard day. It was an emotionally challenging day, but how did I get through it? I utilized these techniques. I utilized this of God's creation. I utilized this. So therefore, God, I'm grateful, rather than doggone it, that thing almost got me down. That thing took up my day. That thing, God, I'm grateful. I overcame it and I'm still here. Write your gratitude list. That'll give us strength. And it'll help us from that, it'll help recover us from that pessimistic thinking as well. Seeing all things as doom and gloom is not enough. It's empty. It's half empty. It's going to be gone and everything's going to be terrible. Instead, we're seeing the other side of things. You know what? It's half full. It was, we did great today. Looking at those things and edifying your spirituality, because I heard someone say, if I lose my faith, if I lose my trust and my security in God, then I've lost. I've just lost. How can I go through anything in this world? How can I overcome my unhealthy, compulsive behaviors, these addictive behaviors? How can I overcome them if I'm not strengthening my platform, my core, my inner being of spirituality? Anyone else want to share anything before we go forth with our last words for today? Any questions, comments, or statements? Well, sound like all hearts.
It's
Go ahead.
Jenny. I just want to say thank you, Miss Jackson.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the session on today. I thank God that I'm able to share, and I just wanted to say, I thank God also, not to, like you said, in bad situations, we can't sit and soak in it, because that'll destroy you spiritually and
Yes.
physically.
Yes.
And physically. And I just and I'm grateful. Like you said, the making the list, and it's so funny that you said that, because as I was praying unto the Lord, yes, last night, as a matter of fact, I was just thanking him for everything that I'm able to do. And I thanked him for what I was doing. And not to say that it'll never happen again. It's just a few things, but like I always said, ever since I had this small stroke, I always say it could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. What touched my heart on Saturday, it was raining. It was raining, and I thought about the homeless people.
Okay.
I thought about the homeless. I thought about the addict. Alcoholic. I thought about the ones sleeping on the bench or on the sidewalk, getting soaking wet. Even with because a lot of homeless people out here in Riverside, where I work, that too, where I live, they carry. A lot of them have pets. I was even feeling sorry for them.
Yeah.
I said it could have been worse. And I was thanking God for just the roof over my head, over my family's head. Because I remember when I was homeless. I remember when I was homeless. I remember when I didn't have anything, just a crate to sit on. So I was, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful on today. I'm very great. I'm grateful for everything with God. I looked at my home, and when I first moved,
I see Miss Jenny is talking, but I can't hear her anymore. I don't know if anyone else can, if it's just me. But Miss Jenny, if you can hear me, I cannot hear you anymore.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I guess it was
I'm sorry.
because no, I guess it was me because my computer shut down.
Okay. Well, like I was saying, thank you for the session. I'm grateful on urging and for the sharing. I find it very intimate also. I find it very grouping, as I may say. It's so grouping, and it reminded me of when I first got clean, of the sharing and the grouping and the fellowshipping and the trust that you could share with somebody of what you never thought that you would speak about also, you know. So and it helps someone else. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to go ahead and read our last thought. I love that. There's always a process. If we stick to it, it'll bring us into that progress, into our change. And I thank you so much. And thank you, Miss Jenny, for all of your encouraging words, encouraging and kind words, because that's what we're all doing. We're going into life change. So today, who is important? Respect for people. Let's see. The 12-step movement grew out of an earlier society, the Oxford Group, whose members believed in key people. They embraced the idea that attracting promising individuals with high standing would in turn attract others. We've also had such people in AA and in other groups, and we were grateful for their examples and efforts. We've learned, however, not to view one person as more important than another. We could even harm a recovering person by focusing on his or her personal prestige in the community. Our purpose is to help people get well, not to run a club emphasizing social standings. We'll find our program working much better if we treat all people equally and view them as an equal in the sight of God. We have a standing in God's sight that is eternal and everlasting. So today, I'll extend kind and generous thoughts towards every person I meet today. We are all children of equal standing in the sight of God. God bless each and every one of you. Till tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. God bless you. I look to hear you then. You guys have a blessed and prosperous day. Live free, guys.